Hey guys, SeanB, and today I want to talk about the Summoners War Lost Centuria $100,000 plus tournament that I was able to be a part of, and also my review for Summoners War Lost Centuria after spending pretty much 10 hours for the event and a couple hours before the event to practice and trying to win some money. So in the event, I was realistically aiming to win $3,000. I didn't win $3,000, but close. So in this video, I'm giving away $200 to, two people down in the comment section below. So leave a comment down below about Lost Centuria from what you see, and leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. I will reply to your comments if you win, so you need that notification, okay? Also, this video is not sponsored by Comtours. I just want to give my thoughts and feedback because that was such a long stream. I almost died after.
Hey, what happened?
So, Summoners War Lost Centuria were 100 Invitational. They had so many big streamers for this event, YouTuber, just so many people, and it was not bad. It was actually pretty hype. There were so many players, and there were so many streamers from different games as well trying to play this game for the first time, and some of them are really good at it. Strategy game. For the entire stream duration, which was around 8 hours, I didn't have much problem, but I heard some people got some DC problem. But overall, I think the event went pretty well, and a lot of people won a lot of money. They even got some celebrities. I didn't know them, but they did got some celebrities to try the game as well. So overall, I think it was a pretty hype event, well organized, and I enjoyed myself. But I think it was really tough for American streamer and EU streamer because they had to play through the night. For EU streamer, they started at like 2 a.m. in the morning. For me, I'm in Asia time zone, so I woke up, had my breakfast, drank my coffee, and just stream from like 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It was pretty good for me, I was cool. It was pretty good for me, but for someone like Childish, it wasn't very good for him. So the timing was not the most ideal for people from around the world, but for people like me from Asia or come to us from Korea, we were having a good time. So we had to play 3 rounds, and each round lasted for 2 hours. In that 2 hours, I can win as many as I want and earn as much money as I want with a cap. And if I want to get the bonus winning, I had to win 10 in a row. I managed to get 10 wins in a row in round 1 and 3, but didn't get it in round 2. I was farmed so hard by Skid. Skid, one of the best players from Korea for Summoners War. He farmed my ass off really hard. I matched with him like 3 times in a row. I got totally destroyed. Should we try that? We're gonna try doing that, but with Pern instead of Beretta, which is like not very good though. On 1v1! I always lose these 1v1. I hate it so much. He got some practice, all right? I went in and I knew a little bit about the game. I played a couple hours before that, but I can't say I was anything good at it. But he was real good. He got the meta locked down, and he spammed that one team until the end and almost became the champion. So my round 1 was just me trying to figure things out, but thank God I managed to win 10 in a row in round 1. In round 2, it was pretty tough. People were trying to counter the meta, so I had to come up with some new things. And in round 3, I managed to win with a pretty different team from the rest of the meta team. Kamun skill ready? Wusa skill ready? Let's go! Let's go! We got this! He gave up! Yes! Chat, we did it! We did it, boys! Oh my god, let's go! 10 wins! Oh my god! And we managed to get the 10 wins in a row as well, so overall, not bad earning from SeanB. Not bad, not bad. There was another creative award for 4 streamers who were the most creative, but I didn't win any of them. I wore a suit, you know, I try. So overall, I didn't really have anything bad to say about the tournament. It was great. I had my fun time. But now let's review the game itself. Summoners War Lost Centuria. Is it worth playing? As a Summoners War player, what do I think about it? Let's start off with the pros. The gameplay is very different from Summoners War. My knowledge in Summoners War didn't really do much beside me confusing the name of the unit, honestly, because I saw Rika, but it was actually Nikki, and yeah, just confusing overall. The skill is quite different. Some of them keep the same skill. Let's say Beretta can apply dot or Poseidon can apply slow debuff, but overall a very different game. If you come from Summoners War, this is gonna be quite fresh. And the gameplay is not something I'm very used to. I'm very used to turn-based game, but this was a real-time reaction reflex heavy game. So you go into the PvP mode and you have to really focus on the match for like 3 to 5 minutes, and it's really about your reaction. And also just quick thinking on the spot on how to counter the enemy the moment they choose to do a skill, because you have a certain amount of mana that you can use to do your move, and every time they do a move you have to do a move as well, or you can don't do a move and lose out on that turn. So usually there'll be someone who do the move and then another person counter the move with another move. So if you do your move correctly, you can counter the enemy move, making it useless and protecting your team or controlling the enemy or doing damage. So gameplay was really exciting for me because it's not like waiting, you know, it's constant action. And there were a few moments where you make the right play at that right exact second and you feel really good. Or there was so many 1v1 moments where I have 8 units on my team, enemy has 8 units on their team, and we were left with both 1 on each side, and it was really scary. So like the comeback moment, the clutch stun and all that stuff is really fun. So overall gameplay, I'll give it like a 7 or 8 out of 10, but there's a big problem which we'll talk about in the bad things section. Another good thing was that lower rarity unit, or like the 3-star unit that we say in Summoners War, they are really good. And the meta team was about abusing those lower rarity unit because they provide very good support, they provide good damage as well, because you can put like the DPS unit lower rarity in the backline, they cost low mana to deploy and nobody's gonna touch them for a very long time. They're gonna do a lot of damage. Or the lower rarity support can provide support much quicker, like Bernard's speed buff is gonna happen much more often than Poseidon's slow debuff on enemy, for example. And the people who were collecting just unlimited W's at the top ranking, they were just spamming lower rarity unit combined with the correct legendary hero to just completely destroy everybody else in the event. And because when you go into this battle mode, they will just upgrade every single unit you have to the maximum level 10 at the event. So we have similar level. The higher rarity unit will have more stats, but then the common unit like Bernard, Megan, Ramagos was still used to completely destroy the enemy team. So with the legendary hero skill being much more expensive to use in the battle, where mana management is very important, they keep a decent balance with the game PvP so that you don't just spam legendary heroes and you're gonna win all the way. But actually, at the end of the event, I was kinda done with the winning, so I just choose all the legendary hero on my team and I was kinda winning too. Even though it was not fun because it takes so long to accumulate mana to use their skill, but I was somehow winning a little bit too with a full legendary hero team. But still, the best team was the team that had the good healthy amount of low rarity unit to use support skill and a good amount of higher rarity unit to do like the big damage or the big debuff skill. But now let's talk about the bad things. First, the graphic. I don't really like it because it looks really dated. I think this is like a common comments that we see for Lost Centuria, is that the game seems kinda old, like it came from many years ago and now released to the public. The color of the game doesn't really pop, and the design is like half realistic, half anime-ish. The color scheme in the game doesn't really look bright and just inviting compared to like Summoners War, and the design is a bit more realistic, so it looks like Raid Shadow Legend kind of vibe. And I'm more of an anime guy, you know? It's not surprising that your boys are pretty much a weeb, and I dig the Genshin Impact aesthetic. So when I look at Lost Centuria, I was like,
Doesn't look really that good to me.
so the overall look of the game is not very inviting. But they also talk about in the interview about how they want to keep the graphic of the game simple, so the game can be played on as many devices as possible, whether you're using like a low-end Xiaomi phone or an iPhone 13 Pro X, you know, you're gonna still enjoy the game just fine. But personally, graphics, not a fan. Secondly, the summoning system is a shard system, which means you are summoning small pieces of your unit. The good thing about this game is if you summon like a 5-star legendary unit, you get the unit. But in Skylander back in the day, when you summon like a piece of your legendary unit, you don't own the unit just yet. But from my experience in the beta and in this test version as well, there was no way to level up the unit besides summoning more pieces of that unit. So it's not a problem for common rarity unit, but it's a huge problem for legendary unit. You can get the legendary unit, you get excited, but to really use it, let's say you've been playing the game for a long time, your common unit are all maxed out, high level, but your legendary unit will be lagging behind in terms of level, which means less overall stats, and you can't really use it, and you feel bad even if you summon like the rare unit that you really want, and you now have to spend more money, because we all know this is gonna be the main component where they make money is summoning, and you have to like spend more, summon more to complete the legendary unit to the maximum potential, and it's not funny that way, right? Compared to Summoners War, you summon a 5-star unit, you can immediately max out the full potential if you have saved up enough resources that you can farm through playing the game. So personally, not a big fan of the summoning system. Not a big fan. Lastly, I was talking about the gameplay being exciting, but I was also talking about whoever make the counter move right win the game. And that is pretty much what we do for now. One of the best thing to do is you wait for enemy to be impatient, they do the move and you counter them. So if you want to AoE stun the enemy team, you press the AoE stun skill. Simple, right? But right at the moment where your unit is doing the animation, the enemy can press the Wusa skill to buff immunity, and your AoE stun skill will do absolutely nothing. Like, you can't stop it. You can't stop the people from countering you with the correct move. You just have to pray that they don't have the move or they press the wrong counter move. The same can be said about if you're trying to buff immunity, but while your Wusa is buffing the immunity skill, enemy can apply a Hathor sleep to your entire team and your immunity will be gone. That can happen as well, and that sucks, right? That really sucks. So countering just gives you so much more advantage that it's not really wise to use your skills, so you have to wait. And sometimes it gets really lame because we both know that we are waiting to counter one another, so we don't do anything even though we have maxed out our mana for like a minute or two, but we're just waiting for that moment. Whoever moves first loses. Like, you can tell, even though I'm not seeing the guy, but I can tell that he's waiting for me to do something, and if I do something, he's gonna counter with the correct skill. So it just sucks that sometimes it boils down to like a staring contest, and if you get impatient and do the wrong skill, you lose. And it's kind of lame instead of like just trying to use the skill, you know, because whatever you are doing, there's always one way to counter you. Like, before you can do the skill, they can stun you. So if you do the skill, it's not good, but it is much better to do the skill as a counter skill to the enemy. So it's just a counter fest at some point, and it's not funny at all. So I think they should have a way to limit the amount of counter you can do, like have a cooldown or something, and force you to use the skill instead of just sitting there and waiting, because it can get really lame sometimes. So I hope they will develop some sort of cooldown or limit to how much you can counter, because just sitting there waiting for counter is not really fun to play as well, especially for those who know how to play the game. We're both just sitting there and just watch one another, because we don't want to use the skill at all. So that was my review for Summoners War Lost Centuria, the event and the game itself. I'll be playing with the game launch on the 29th of April. I hope it's going to be fun. I can't really see what Commenter is going to do with it. We need a new breath of fresh air as well with Summoners War, right? So I hope it's going to be good, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!